Welcome back to the Medeco hand cutting key series. Here you can see the key that I have cut. In the last video we just had the angle cuts at the top done, and we just did some quick test fitting. I showed you the angle guide that I used for making those marks. Now the key is actually working, and we can see the cuts from the side here. So those are the levels, and from the top, if I show you the angles, if it'll focus. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. You can see all the angles, and you can also see that I have taken down the tops here just a little bit in between the different key pin positions, just to smooth out the key a little bit. You want to deburr it and things like that too, just to get the key working all nice and smooth there. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is just show you how I did that fitting process and other things that are required. So what you want is you want your core loaded up again. So here's the core with at least the key pins in it. You don't really need the sidebar for right now. Most of the time the rotation of pins you can just get pretty easily by looking at it visually. So if you go ahead and load these in, you can see that they all drop into place and are nice and visually even. If you look from the top, or you can put the sidebar in to verify that they are all rotated in place. But what we're doing mostly, let's see if we can go ahead and get a shot quickly of the sidebar rotation. There you go, you can see all the gates are lined up. And now what we're going to do is, let me go ahead and set this back down. Now what I do is you can take different things. You could use the Bible, but what I'm going to do here is use the control ring, and just by taking those two little grooves there, run them over the pins, twisting it and seeing if I catch on any of the pins at the top. So if you do catch on something just a little bit, it may still work in your lock. You know, if you can slide this ring over, you may have enough clearance, but what you're looking for is to see if any of those key pins, you can try pressing it down a bit and running it down and seeing if you can get any snags. If you do get a snag, it's generally going to mean that the key might work, but it's going to stick. So you might have to wiggle it around and do a little dance and your key will open. But if you want a real smooth working key, this final fitting process will do a lot of good. The key pins are actually a bit domed, so you do have a little bit of leeway there, you know, to account for key wear and things like this. So if you cut it just a little bit lower than you think, you're probably still okay. But obviously too low and you can't go back. So making this a slow process is probably for the best. So we'll go ahead and slide this out, and I'll show you that now I have a fully loaded core here with the sidebar and everything in place, and the key will work. However, we have a couple places that do still have that sticking. So you can see it works here in both directions, but it does stick just a little bit still. So taking that and running the control sleeve over there will get it nice and smooth.